Hi, my name is Rose Reevely. I'm a Vedic astrologer, and I'm here today talking about March astrological news. Before I start, please remember to like and subscribe. Okay, so we begin March with Mercury continuing its retrograde motion in the air sign of Aquarius. I'm going to talk a little about the full moon and the new moon, and I'll give you predictions here in just a moment, and then we're going to talk a little about the coronavirus. So the full moon is on March 9th at 24 degrees of Leo. These numbers are important. And then the new moon is on March 24th at 9 degrees. So do you see kind of the synchronicity of the numbers here? March 9th and then March 24th, and then we have 24 degrees, and then we have 9 degrees. So you see there really is a lot of synchronicity that's going on now on the planet. A lot of this is happening. But you know, you have to be in the moment to actually see it, to be aware of it. You have to be living in the moment. So it's really like being in alignment with the cosmos when it happens. And these events, you know, they seem to us at the first moment, maybe happenstance, like, wow, is that really happening? And then we realize that, yes, it is. And it could be numbers. You could be seeing numbers. I've been seeing 11s and 111 and 1111. I've been seeing that now for probably about 18 months, maybe even longer. But I have a lot of other people telling me they see different numbers too, you know, 2s and 4s. Whatever it is, it really gives us a deeper connection to the universe. And so, but again, you do have to be in the moment to see that. You know, the whole world's eyes now are on the coronavirus and the spread of it. And it's really difficult to trust and believe the news that we hear because it changes so rapidly. Every day it's a different story. And I do refer to this as spin because I do feel like now we're in kind of the spin zone of the coronavirus. So let me explain a little about why I think that might be happening, okay? So currently Rahu, which is the north node, is transiting through the sign of Gemini. This is where the eclipses are occurring. And Gemini is an air sign, and it's the sign, it's the constellation that deals with dissemination of information, okay? So that's a pretty big area, right, to deal with all communications when you think of it. And so it deals with putting it all out, dissemination, spreading the word, spreading the information. And Gemini's ruler, Mercury, is currently retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, an air sign, okay? Notice, an air sign. Now, Rahu creates its own kind of misunderstandings. We know that Mercury retrograde also does the same thing, right? It's a time that's kind of ripe for confusion a little and misunderstandings. Did I hear that right? Did I say that right? Maybe people mishear what we said or misunderstood what we meant, right? So Rahu really knows how to deceive, though. Rahu knows how to use deception in terms of communication because it's in the sign of Gemini. So that is why I say that right now we don't know a lot of the information that we're receiving. We don't know if it's accurate. It's questionable, right? It's confusing for sure. If when you start looking at the numbers, and I'm not going to get into all of that because it just overall you come to the same conclusion, which is some of it is hard to believe, and it seems like things are kind of skewed and confused. So let me go to the timeline of the origination of the coronavirus. Even the origin of it is really difficult to pinpoint. There have been several charts put out and different times used. And I do believe that it did start with the solar eclipse at the end of 2019. Remember the solar eclipse we had on December 25th, 26th, depending on what area of the world that you live in. But that eclipse had, I believe, 6 planets or 5 planets in the sign of Sagittarius. And it had Saturn and Pluto, which deal with, Pluto deals with the masses, atomic, explosive, destructive, powerful, obviously powerful energy that deals with destruction. And so Saturn and Pluto, both first-rate malefics, were conjunct in the first house being the physical body, but the first house of the USA would be our homeland, our country where we live. And so these were conjunct, and we also had K2 was there with Jupiter, and we had the sun and the moon, which was bringing the eclipses, and those were conjunct, and then we had Mercury. So these were, let's see, we had 4 of those planets in Mula, which is a destructive nakshatra. And so the coronavirus is an airborne virus that attacks the respiratory system. Again, I'm saying we have Rahu in Gemini, we have Mercury in an air sign. These are air signs, right? And this is where the planets are now. At the onset of the eclipse in December, though, we did have Saturn specifically aspecting Neptune, which is in the 3rd house of the USA's chart. And Neptune is also deals with deception, basically, but it also deals with water, and it deals with the water influence. I think of cruising and ships and that sort of thing is also another place where the coronavirus has showed up. So Rahu it deals with epidemics and plagues and poisons that both heal and poisons that are that harm, poisons that heal and poisons that harm. So it deals too with hard to diagnose illness and disease. And K2, which was in the 1st house of the homeland at the eclipse time, K2 and Rahu are the nodes. They're not planets. They're elliptical points in the sky. And they deal with some similar things in terms of disease and illness and things that are hard to diagnose. It's hard to pinpoint what it is, just as like I'm saying the origin, very difficult to pinpoint that. So there's a lot of mystery and unexplainable information kind of around all of this. And so that creates a lot of speculation, right? When that happens, it does create a lot of speculation because there's an unknown. But here's the thing, in June, and I don't usually like to look very far ahead, but in June, I notice that we have a solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini, okay? This is where the eclipses are falling. And eclipses always bring things out of the dark and into the light. They always expose something. And we discover truths that we did not know before, right? And so it's possible that we'll learn more then. Meanwhile, the best way that we can look at this, I think, is to take really good care of our physical health, because all we can do is really what has to do with us, right? How we can take care of ourselves and how we can physically, mentally, and emotionally work through this time. So I think we should get plenty of rest, eat as healthy as possible, and do all the hygiene protocols, like washing your hands often, and do all of the healthcare protocols that the healthcare organizations are suggesting. On a lighter note, the full moon is the moon that we have coming up March 9th. And the full moon really brings things to fruition. This is for you more personally, right? So the full moon it's where you've prospered, right? And if you have planets near the degree point, and the full moon is going to be at 24 degrees of Leo. So if you have planets in Leo near that 24 degree, there's something that's happening in your life that's finally being fulfilled. There's something that you can enjoy. And what this is really is, it's prosperity. In some way, you're going to be prospering. So the moon, the full moon really is the best moon for manifesting. Okay, so get out your Manifesting with the Moon journal, and this is a good time. Start writing down what it is you want more of. What do you want to bring more of in your life? If it's money, write it in your journal and begin to see it in your mind, see it coming in, and feel it. Feel how it feels when that money is in your bank account or wherever you want to put it. You know, just start to feel the feeling. It's really important to manifesting, is feeling it. Then we have the new moon on March 24th. This is the one that is at 9 degrees of Pisces. And the new moon is where we experience the most change. This is where astrologers write their predictions from, is the new moon, because that's where things are going to be changing the most. The full moon is really what's kind of already been in action. I call it, it's like baking the cake. It's in the cake already. So you're receiving or prospering in some way. And then the new moon is where the change is. So the new moon is going to be in Pisces, and who doesn't love the sign of Pisces? It's really one of the most loved signs of the entire zodiac. And Pisces is dreamy, it's imaginative, and it's a very creative sign of the zodiac. Now, they do go a lot on their intuition, which they get inspiration through their intuition. The other thing is that Pisces is a very, they feel other people's pain. And so they really are a humanitarian sign as well, because they have great empathy and compassion for people who are less fortunate. And so they do usually wonderful things for humanity. So the interesting thing about this new moon is that whenever I was looking at it, I noticed that all of the planets fell on one side of the nodes, which this is called Kala Sarpa Yoga. Kala Sarpa Yoga. And Kala means time, and Sarpa means serpent. And so you can think of this as time serpent or serpent of time. So what's happening is that all of the planets, so Rahu is here in Gemini, okay? And then Ketu is here in Sagittarius. And so all of the planets are falling right here, kind of in between Rahu and Ketu. All right, I'm drawing an imaginary, like the elliptical points, Rahu and Ketu. Okay, so they're falling in those houses. They're falling within the sign. We have Jupiter in Sag, of course. It's 29 degrees at the new moon, so it's getting ready to transit out of Sagittarius. But then we have Pluto, Mars, and Saturn in Capricorn, Mercury, Neptune in Aquarius, Moon, Sun, which is the new moon, in Pisces, and then Venus and Uranus in Aries. So we have all those planets encased within the nodes. So if someone has this in their chart, they feel a really strong sense of destiny in their life. And this is not really a rare yoga. I have this in my chart as well. And so, I like to ask people, how have they experienced it? And it's interesting because most everyone explains it a little differently, but the way that I explain it is this, that we still kind of all feel the same way. And that is that the events that happen to us, we feel that whether that event is negative or positive, we feel that that event was extremely profound, right? And so people who have Kala Sarpa Yoga in their charts feel like whether those events have been positive or negative, that they were supposed to experience it, as in they were destined, they were fated to go through that event in some way. And so Kala Sarpa Yoga can bring sudden, extreme events into a person's life, okay? And the other part of that is that that person's life can have gone through a lot of changes, just a whole lot of changes. And also I believe that Kala Sarpa is also involved in, you hear the stories of people who've gone rags to riches or riches to rags. Either way, extremes, right? Really severe and sudden extremes. So that's the planet. That's where the new moon is involved in a Kala Sarpa Yoga. And so let's look at where the predictions are for each sign. I know that's probably why you're listening, right? So let's go there. Remember, this is Vedic astrology and not Western astrology. And so Vedic astrology is based on the sidereal zodiac. Okay, Aries, here we go. Aries, career change, finally, you're saying, finally, right? And I think that you're really working on something right now at home. Maybe you could be learning something new, or you're deeply involved in research, and which can also be learning, that you're having to research a subject to learn it. And you could also be becoming involved with some speculative projects. So what you want to do now, Aries, is to be really careful with your bosses. And here's why. Mars, your ruling planet, is traveling near Saturn. And this is a little bit like driving with your foot on the brake and driving with your foot on the accelerator at the same time, right? Mars wants to move and take action, and Saturn says, no, let's hold back. It's restricting. So be really careful with your bosses, and because you could be feeling stressed a little too from work, and because Saturn and Pluto together do kind of cause this explosive energy. Taurus, your home is one of the best entertainment centers and one of the best ways that you shine too, Taurus. So friends are important to your career, and you can combine all of this to bring in the prize, whatever the prize is that you want. The moon is traveling through your friendship house, so you may make new friends that help you, but you're likely to feel a deep connection with them, and this could be a really good, inspiring time for you. All right, Taurus. Gemini, Mercury's direct motion is going to be a big relief for you, and I know you already know that, Gemini. It's gonna, but right now, and up until direct motion, you've had a chance, right, to review. There's something about a publication you're supposed to do, an ebook. It's some writing. It's something, of course, informational for other people. It may be information they don't know, or they haven't learned that yet, right? So whether it's a blog or an ebook, but it's something that you've had, I think, for a while, and you're going to be focused on your career, making money, and it's going to come through communications. Rahu is in your first house right now, so this gives you an advantage in terms of, it gives you really unusual ideas, and it gives you an unusual approach to the message, to the way that you put it out there. Okay? So Cancer, the moon travels through your lucky zone or your lucky house this month. So it's going through your ninth. So you may travel. But it's a little like having the luck of the leprechaun. So your mind could be full of all of these new ideas, right? Because remember I said Pisces is dreamy and imaginative. So this is really good for Cancer, because Cancer, you're a water sign too. And Pisces is as well. And so you may get some deep inspiration here. Publishing, communicating, videos, like they say, a picture says 1,000 words, right? So you're maybe working on some of that in the background. You may have already been working on it and put it out there. So this is a good time to continue. Keep that going. Leo, if you have children, some serious emotional changes have taken place within you. So you need to take some extra care on a change with speculation or any kind of speculative projects now. Now, I know, Leo, you are a fire sign, and I know you're not going to meditate, right? But there is a walking meditation where you can be moving, right? Or, just spending some time in nature so that pitta energy is kind of cooled down just a little. Just a few minutes in nature every day can make a big difference. Okay, Virgo. Partnership and partner. Okay, partnership and partner. Okay, all said. That's the focus is, and remember, your partnership can be your spouse, your mate. They can also be your business partner. So you can be in business with your spouse or mate. Either way, if you have a business relationship and then you also have a mate or spouse, this moon is going to put you there. Now, let me just say, Pisces can be very romantic. And so this could be a good time, a good romance time to bring that in as well with this energy of the new moon. Libra, a friend may have helped you out, or may have helped you land a better job or given you a connection or somehow, hooked you up, right? So they could have been a really positive influence or supportive in some way. On terms of health, because this is falling in your 6th house, and this is all about your health and your pets' health, right? So just take a look at that and see, are you in the place that you want to be? The moon here may bring in something, a new idea, I don't like the word diet. No, I don't like that. But a new, cleaner way of eating, okay? A cleaner way of eating. Okay, Scorpio. Children are such an inspiration. They really are. So if you're around them, they're going to give you certainly inspiration, but they may give you ideas. They may ignite your creativity. You feel a sense of connection. You may be more interested in spiritual matters. This is your 5th house. And the 5th house is the house of mantra. I love that. I love mantras. And if you listen to my videos or you've heard me speak, you know that I love mantras. I love to talk about them. So your higher consciousness really is kicking in. You're getting tuned in. And occult knowledge. Remember this, occult, the word occult. It simply means secret. It means secret knowledge. And astrology is actually secret knowledge because not everyone knows about it or knows how strong the influence is on all of us, right? So what I'm saying is that you, Scorpio, may be really diving deeper into the occult, meaning that you're searching more for deeper knowledge. No one knows how to find a secret like Scorpio, so you will leave no stone unturned in your search. Okay, that's going to be really good for you, Scorpio. Sagittarius, visit or call your mom and your dad. Okay, this is a good time to make the connection with them. You can even entertain in your home. You can bring them into your home, maybe. At any rate, it's good for entertaining. So you're going to enjoy your home for sure right now. And you might even purchase a new vehicle. You may buy new clothes. This is good for family life. Good for making connections. Capricorn, it's time to connect with your siblings. Go to the movies. Take a short hiking trip. Take everything that you need with you. Write a creative piece. Really the big thing here for you, Capricorn, is you need to go on a new adventure. You really need to go on a new adventure. So you're getting your mojo back because your ruling planet Saturn is in your 1st house. So that's very empowering. So just remember not to be too much of a dictator, right? Not too much of, bossiness comes with Saturn, because Saturn does like to give direction, right? So also you'll need to take care, Capricorn, because Mars is traveling near your Saturn, and so this can cause some consternation with Mars being there. Again, that's the influence of driving with one foot on the brake and one foot on the accelerator. You're wanting to go faster maybe, and Saturn is saying, let's not go so fast. Okay, Aquarius, you may collaborate with a partner now on a project. Now, collaboration really means a joint venture, right? But just remember to give them, allow them some space too, right? So that's what makes it a joint venture, is that you're working together, you're collaborating. You could be thinking, show me the money, show me the money. And this is what you're really probably focused on during this new moon, is ideas and ways and creative, inventive ways. And Aquarius, you are the sign of you like futuristic things. So you may be thinking out there, and you're thinking out of the box, okay? This is a good time. Pisces is a good sign, and it is your second house of money and also what you eat. Pisces, you are the new moon lottery winner. So you're going to have a plethora of ideas whirling around in your head. And it's okay. Just remember, the thing that you need is a journal, a writing journal, because you need that, because these ideas fly in and they fly out just as quick if you don't write them down. So it's like a spark in the moment, right? Coming in really fast. So you're also receiving these downloads of higher consciousness, okay? Because the sun and the moon are there together. So definitely you're going to be inspired by this new moon. All right, that's everyone. And so thanks for watching and for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't know your rising sign and you don't know where your moon and your sun is, email me. My email is in the description below. And thanks so much for watching and listening. Namaste.